Yes, we're back on the SportsMax Zone and we're turning now to cricket. South Africa lead the West Indies by 31 runs at Stumps on day one of the first test against the West Indies at the Darren Sammy Cricket Ground in St. Lucia. After winning the toss and electing to bat, the West Indies were skittled out for 97, their lowest ever test innings total against the South Africans. Lungi Ngidi bagged 5 for 19, while Anrich Nortje picked up 4 for 35. Jason Holder top scored for the West Indies with 20. In reply, the South Africans reached 128 for 4 before play was called off for the day. Aidan Markram has so far top scored with 60 against debutant Jaden Seals, the 19-year-old who has so far picked up 3 for 34. Scores in the match: the West Indies 97, South Africa 128 for 4. Joining us now to review the day's action, veteran cricket commentator Joseph Reds Perreira, doing his 50th year of cricket commentary. Reds, not a good day for the West Indies. Your thoughts on, first of all, what happened with the West Indies batting?
Well, it's going to be debated whether we should have batted in the first place. The overcast conditions just suited the South African bowlers, and I would imagine that Seals and Holder and company would have liked maybe to have gone out and bowl against the South Africans. But a decision was made. I suppose Bradford will take a lot of the blame, but it's not just Bradford's decision to bat first, and it turned out to be a pretty poor display. 40.5 overs, all out for 97. And the whole batting display was one of total indiscipline. One was lack of application and playing a lot of ill-advised shots. It was a very bad day technically for the West Indies, Lance. And I will think that when Phil Simmons watches the replay tonight, he will find that there was not one player who you can say, well, got a ball that was unplayable. Yeah.
Reds, just one more thing on the decision to bat here, because I suspect that if a fit Shannon Gabriel was in the attack, that could have probably influenced a different decision, because they were going in with a bowling attack with a completely inexperienced 19-year-old. And, well, Roach is solid and Holder knows his stuff. But maybe if there was more experience in the fast bowling department, because the track had suggested that it would favor the fast bowling, maybe they would have made a different decision?
Well, that is an argument you could make. But when you look at the bowling of Seals, when maybe the pitch had settled down a great deal, one can see the potential of him starting this morning. And of course, if he was picking up early wickets, what would have happened at the other end? I mean, last night I did a talk show, and I did say that side that bats, that wins the toss, should in fact bowl. And I did that this morning for another local station, and the general feeling is around the ground that the West Indies got the toss wrong.
Red, so you speak about them getting the toss wrong. What about the team selection? Did they get that right?
Well, hindsight, you could say Joseph would have been a useful bowler in these conditions. But they obviously decided that they will leave out Powell and they will leave out Joseph. And maybe they were looking for the best balance. They're looking for the best balance. But it wasn't maybe the bowling that was the major worrying factor. Our batting was very, very poor. And in a sense, because of the efforts of Seals, we were able to create some damage control towards the end by picking up those 4 wickets. Can you imagine if South Africa had gone to close with only 2 wickets down? It would be a very, very tall day, very, very tall day tomorrow.
Definitely, Reds. And I have sat in this same seat on this same show, and I have actually, I was for the recall of Shai Hope, saying that, he was really good in the practice matches. He deserved an opportunity again. He got the opportunity. What do you have to say about what happened today with Shai Hope?
Shai Hope has got to forget that shot. that shot of looking to work the ball through the onside when it's pitching about middle leg stump. It's a dangerous shot. It's got him out before, and it is a technical fault. He is looking to play that shot much too often. He's got to cut it out, look to play through the V. If he plays through the V, he will get some bat onto it. I think the other sad thing today was a really bad day for the West Indies because Bonner got hit. And of course, as we'll announce later, he is now out of the game because of the concussion rule. And whether he will be good enough to be available for the next test, there is in fact a big doubt.
Reds, I want to challenge something that you've said, not because you said it, but because it has emerged as a popular narrative. I'm looking at the West Indies batting lineup, Reds. Brathwaite, Hope, Bonner, Chase, Mears, Blackwood, Holder, De Silva, Raheem, Cornwall. That's the first 9, and then Roach and the Seals at the tip of the tail. I'm seeing not batting all the way from position 1 right through to 9. This is not a team, Reds, that was picked to bat second. So I'm saying that the team picked was to bat first, and that batting first was not merely the problem, but it was the approach to batting I'm suggesting to you, my friend.
Well, I will buy part of your argument, George, but I think the conditions were right for bowling first. But I mean, even if you pick all those batsmen, and I support the view that we played very bad cricket. I mean, if you watch all the dismissals, I mean, can you explain what Mears came in? What was in his mind? I mean, you know, Mears looked very far from what he should be doing. Many of our batsmen, you know, got out in a very feeble manner. So it didn't matter whether we bat today or we bat tomorrow. If we're going to play those kind of shots, we're going to always be in trouble. The discipline, the shot selection was terrible.
And that's the point I'm making, because I'm looking at the West Indies. Of course, we know the West Indies innings lasted 40 overs. The South African innings has gone 43 overs already. It's not done. It's only at the end of the first day. And we're making it seem as if every one of the Windies bowlers has been making hay against the South African bowlers to support the argument that it was a wrong decision to bat first. Yes, young Seals has done very well so far in his first test with those 3 wickets for 34 runs. Beyond him, well, Roach has a wicket. He got the first one. But beyond him, everybody else appears to be well held by the South African batsmen, Reds, suggesting that the decision to bat first can't be the main problem so far in this test. It's just like you've just broken down for us the approach by the individual batsmen to the task at hand on the first morning.
Well, I think it underlines the score that the weakness maybe is in the bowling attack. I mean, if we can support what you're saying, the weakness is in the bowling attack. And the question that Phil Simmons has got to ask himself as they go forward, whether this attack can get 20 wickets, whether he needs a little more of Seals at the other end. I think we need to bring a genuine paceman into the side so we can have the hostility and the aggression and the wicket-taking possibilities.
As we break, Reds, let me ask you this one quickly. Do you agree already, after just 1 day's cricket in this series, that the South African bowlers will ask more pertinent questions and present... Reds, are you hearing us?
Hello?
Yes, Reds, we're hearing you. Are you hearing us?
Hello?
Reds, are you hearing us?
Hello?
No,
Oh, dear me. Oh. Yeah.
What's wrong?
No,
Ask us.
it's listen,
But the point you're going to make, George, I think you're about to suggest that the South African bowlers, based on what we have seen so far, look more likely to threaten the West Indies batsmen than the other way around.
Well,
Yeah.
not quite. I'll take that addendum to the point as well. Fine. But the point I was making is this: already, based on what we've seen on this first day, and I'm certainly there,
Yeah.
the South African bowlers are going to present a more searching examination of the West Indies batsmen than the West Indies batsmen encountered in the previous 2 test series. That's the point I'm making.
Yeah.
So what Bangladesh was able to do in Bangladesh, what Sri Lanka was able to do here in the Caribbean, the South African bowlers are going to ask far more serious questions than these batsmen have ever answered. So for those who've been waiting before we pop the champagne and burst the confetti bag to say, oh, these batsmen are very good and they've been what West Indies cricket have needed for the longest while. This will tell us how skilled these guys are, how good they are, because this already is a more potent bowling attack than the one that Sri Lanka used there, and certainly the one that we beat up in Bangladesh, is the point I'm making.
Definitely. This is the litmus test, as you said, George. And I mean, if West Indies batsmen, and I think on paper, as you rightfully said, we have a very strong batting team, batting right down until the end. If they can't get over these South African bowlers, things are not looking good for us.
Lance, you were the one who pointed this out to me yesterday. I think we were in the office, and you were saying that the batting goes all the way down to 9, and then I had a look. You don't pick this team to bat second, and even so, you pick this team and it bats first, Mariah. You would expect them to be able to defend their wicket if it is that the bowling is spot on. And one of the things that we don't do, we don't give credit to the bowling. The South African bowling this morning was very good.
And let me tell you something, I would never expect the high score today to be 20. Not at all.
128 for 4 South Africa replying to the West Indies 97 all out. Day 2 in St. Lucia coming up Friday. Back with more on the zone after this.
Amid a surge in COVID-19 cases, with the start of the Olympics just over 6 weeks away. They are set to run from July 23 to August 8. That's it for today's Olympic Corner. Remember to watch the SportsMax Zone for your daily Olympic updates.